All right, we're going to do a little recap because it was my first day working out at the gym, which was very interesting. I liked it. I didn't hate it, and it wasn't awkward like I thought it might be. Um, Most of my coworkers were pretty much like, "Oh, you're here working out?" Like, I guess nobody really pays attention to who comes and who doesn't come. Like, they just assume if you're there to work out, and that's like not a big deal. Not everybody knows that like I work out at home usually. Up till plants took over my sunroom. So like I got there and I got to say hello to somebody that I don't really see often, which is good. And I started planning out my workout and I went to the bench. And the first thing that I did was like rack up the weights, right? But I tried to do the same amount of weight that I was doing before. And I didn't really factor in that the Olympic bar's heavier. It's like 45 pounds or something. So when I went to go do it, I couldn't even get 4 reps, and the minimum is 6. Like if you can't do at least 6, it's too heavy. So I had to take some off, and when I did that, I just wound up with these two dinky little 35 plates in addition to the bar, which is 45 pounds. So like whatever that weighs, that's how much I did. And I looked over. So I looked over, and this guy is at the other bench. There's two benches, right? And I look over, and the other dude's doing like, I don't know. It looked like, and I might have miscounted the plates, but like it looked like he had 445 plates on there, which might not be true. It might have been two 45s and then like a 25 on each side, and then maybe like a five. Either way, it was stacked. It was multiple plates, and like he got to use 45 plates, which I did not. I started with 45s and it was too heavy. So I had to confront feelings of inadequacy almost immediately. I had to look over and go, that's way more than I can do. And then as soon as that happened, one of the really buff guys that like comes in every single day and I see him all the time walks past the bench and we make eye contact while I'm sitting there getting ready to do this dinky little the glitches are fucking intense right now. Anyway, so we make eye contact right as I'm about to start the bench, and he must have seen like it wasn't that much weight, and like he's there all the time. He's really strong, and I don't think he judged me because everybody starts somewhere. You know what I mean? Everybody's working on it, and you can't really just start doing crazy heavy weights right off the bat if you can't lift that much. But I think part of me felt like I was further along than I am because of the frequency of workouts. Like working out 6 days a week, sometimes seven, 7 right now, is great. Especially if you're making sure that you're not burning out and you're maximizing growth and you're taking all the right steps. You're making progress. It's fantastic. But that's not really a substitute for being able to lift heavy. You know what I mean? Like, just because I do this every damn day, it doesn't mean that I've made as much progress as some of these guys that have been going here for years, that have been lifting for years, and that have such a jump on me. They're already in so much better shape. And, like, I didn't feel judged. I didn't feel like he was judging me. I think he was more floored that I was there. I don't think he was really necessarily paying attention to how much I was actually benching, but I don't know. Guys pay attention to that kind of stuff, don't they? Anyway, so that happened. And the rest of my exercises, I actually I felt almost inspired by that moment to up my weights when I was doing my dumbbell exercises. I didn't up my weights for tricep extensions, but I did up my weights 5 pounds for lateral raises, and like, I did my normal weights for the free bench press. It was like an incline bench press. I did my normal weights for that. So like I upped what I could and I left what I couldn't. And I feel like That's what I could do. And I'm very sore. So, like, immediately, I am feeling that workout. I pushed myself to my limits, and I did something that made me uncomfortable. And I also tried the treadmill, and this was the other source of insecurity because at the treadmill at home, it only goes 3 miles an hour. So I started off 3 miles an hour and I did 5 minutes like that, and then I bumped it up to 6.5 and I ran for like 3 minutes, which I don't run. I hate cardio. I don't run. So I ran for 3 minutes on 6.5, and then I bumped it back down to 3, and I did that for 5 minutes, and then I bumped it back up to 6.5, and I ran for 2 minutes, back to 3, 5 minutes, back to 6.5 for 1 minute, and I just kind of declined. And I only did about half the length I normally do. I normally do about 3 miles. That was about 1.5. But I think it's more important for me right now to get back to running. I started getting shin splints from the running, and apparently the only way to fix that is to do like tibialis exercises, which my standing calf raises have an incline. I'm using a slant board for those. So theoretically, that should be enough to solve my problem, I think. But I just need to get used to running again. And I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. I might just tack on some treadmill every workout for a little bit. See how that goes. The only thing that I didn't do was my attempted push-ups, which is what I call them when you're doing assisted negatives or resistance, whatever they call it. I forget. But when you're doing a push-up and you can't complete, you pretty much just have to like lower yourself slowly and as far as you can, and then push yourself back up from where your lowest point is. When I can't get all the way down to the ground, I can get like 3/4 of the way there, halfway there, and then I have to go back up because I'm still building the foundational strength. But I did it. Day one, I finished my workout, and my boss ended up texting me because he had some questions about something that happened like last week. And I just happened to be there. So I just like popped over to his office and I had a really good talk with him. Even though it was just, like extracurricular conversation. I am lucky to have the bosses that I do. I'm lucky to be in the environment that I am. I'm very grateful for all of the good things in my life and the good people and the good places and the opportunities. So that was the first day back at the gym. And I think I'm going to have to water my plants tomorrow. They're starting to dry out a little bit. But theoretically, I should only have to start watering once every like 2 weeks. So tomorrow, the plan is I'll probably water at night after work. But I'm going to try and wake up early. And I think my workout, it's hard to say because I did so much socializing before I left. But I think I finished my workout in around an hour. So I might give myself an hour and a half, 2 hours to do the workout. And if I have some dead time, I can just hang out before my shift. And then work will happen. And then I'll get home, water the plants, and theoretically, if it's anything like it was today, I will fall into bed. I got home from the gym today and I was wiped, dude. I fell right into bed at 5 p.m. And I tried to sleep on and off while I was listening to Twilight, because people in the comments were like, you keep on making Twilight references. Are you reading that right now? And I was like, nope, but I am now. So I'm doing that. And I'm having conflicted emotions about that right now, but I think that's a topic for another video. We'll talk about that later. What you need to know right now is that Rome wasn't built in a day, but they did lay brick every day. And you have to meet yourself where you are. You have to start where you are in order to progress. And you already don't care what anybody thinks of you. If you're in line with this video, you don't. So, don't judge yourself too harshly. Don't assume that other people are judging you. Assume that they're rooting for you. Because you are. I love you.